Hi, I'm James Vann, an attorney with Vann Sheridan. We're a law firm in North Carolina. Welcome to this session of our Vann Sheridan video legal pad. We're going to be talking about attorney's fees today and whether or not you can recover those in litigation. We often get called about business disputes, and one of the questions that always comes up is, can I recover my attorney's fees? Historically in North Carolina, there has been a provision in the general statutes that allows for a plaintiff or defendant, depending on which one they are, to possibly recover attorney's fees in the business setting. There are a whole host of statutes that talk about attorney's fees, but in the business setting, there are one or two that are very specific if there's an attorney's fees provision in your contract. So often we hear people say, I've always heard or I've never been able to recover attorney's fees. Well, they are recoverable in North Carolina. The courts generally will look at the contract language pretty specifically, but in North Carolina, if you have a certain provision in your contract that calls for reasonable attorney's fees, then most likely you're going to be able to recover them. Now, in North Carolina, just recently, back in 2011, the General Assembly passed a new bill that talked about reciprocal attorney's fees. So if you have a provision in your contract that calls for attorney's fees, then the winning party of the litigation might possibly be able to get their attorney's fees recovered. Now, we don't know how that statute is going to be interpreted yet because there's been no cases that have gone to the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court of North Carolina regarding this attorney's fees provision. The previous provision, which is still applicable, calls for reasonable attorney's fees, and how the courts have looked at that, they've interpreted that to be 15% of the principal amount due and owing in the contract. So for example, if you're owed $10,000, you do the math, 15%, that's typically what the court has awarded. So in North Carolina, can you recover your attorney's fees? Yes, there are provisions that allow that. Is it always? No, it's not always. The courts can look at that, and unfortunately sometimes great minds can differ and that doesn't work. But more likely than not, you have a great chance of recovering some of your attorney's fees. It may not be all, but some. I hope that's been helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at our office in North Carolina. Thank you so much.